So our conversation today on Word Around Town, we call our discussion time Word Around Town, is who you marry more important than when you marry? And I'll let you go first because you're young. Do you mind me asking how old you are?
No, you can ask me. I was born in the year 1999. At least just 2000. Kuna mtu wa 2000 in this table.
In this room. Agnes, munyamaze too. Okay, it's okay. I don't feel offended because 1999 I was still in school. I was not working. There's some people, me when I was working, they were being born. So you're in your early...
I'm entering my late
20s. Late 20s.
Yeah.
So, and I didn't even know how old you were, but I was trying to tell you that in my opinion, between the ages of 26 and 30, a woman is very vulnerable. In fact, not a woman, I can call you girls. You're very vulnerable because we always feel like there's a timeline and it's not us who tell ourselves, it's just societal pressures, whether it is subliminal or just straight out. But you know, when your auntie starts saying, by the way, nani yako karibu kama angeshika nafikia age ya kuolewa, it's actually not funny. I feel like it's so bad to be telling someone that in the name of a joke because it's not funny at all. What is the set time in your head? What do you imagine is a right time for someone to get married, for instance?
The right time to get married is when you're ready to get married. There's not a I'm going to get married in 2026. I'm not going to get married when I'm 35. There's no timeline for getting married. This is a partnership. I think our generation also views marriage as something long-term partnerships, but also we're recognizing that marriage is also like a social contract.
Yes.
And there's things that we come into that marriage with, whether we don't have, whether we have. And once we come to that understanding, you come to realize it's not that I need to get married at 21. You don't. Actually, it's my personal belief that at 21, there's still much you still have to understand to grow. So people who gotten married at 21 is still cool, still perfect. That's the choice that they felt they were ready for at that time.
Yeah.
But like, I can't also say in the same space that I'm going to get married by like 30. No, for me, it's just finding the right partnership.
Do you have those aunties, like not even shading your family, but do you have people around you who are like, oh my God, career box ticked, maybe this box ticked, nobody's talking to you about it?
No, actually, my family is very much, yes, we see what you're doing, keep going at it.
Enjoy your life.
You need to do law, do it. You want to do DJing, be the best at it. You want to do masters, do it. So like, there's not that pressure to get married.
I really like that, and I don't know, maybe you will come back for that conversation because I feel like my age group, I'm 39 years old and I turned 39 in January. My age group, our folks were very, very brutal with the choices we made. They wanted you to be a lawyer, the professionals, and not in the arts. I mean, the big five, the lawyer, the engineer, the doctor, I think teacher. And I don't know why I forget one more, but we always kind of were led to believe those are the only careers that were important. But we're not going to talk about that today. I want us to really focus on the young. I really wanted us to have that conversation from our different points of view because of our age difference. My generation were almost, unajua slaughterhouse, shona mbuzi inapelekwa kwa kichinjio, that you're almost 30, what are you waiting for? And because we also have this such a horrible notion, and I don't even know where it came from, that your biological clock as a woman, you're supposed to have your children before a certain age. And people end up getting married. I've seen so many, I've been witness to very many weddings that didn't stand the test of time. And it is because people concentrated on the when and not on the who. And I will always remind people, you'd rather marry late than marry wrong. This is someone who you're supposed to spend the rest of your life with. I don't know what your idea of marriage is. But research shows that your age group is not very geared towards marriage. Nasikia mnaogopa kuliko bomb.
They actually say if there's one thing young people fear right now is marriage.
Yes,
why? They don't fear protests, they fear marriage.
Why? I don't want to speak for you. I would like to hear from you, a representative of your kind.
I think we've come to grow up and realize marriage is not all that it was meant to made out to be. And some of us also, we come from homes, families where we see what the idea of marriage looks like. And I don't know if also people understand how like that also shapes how a person grows up and views something later in life. So a lot of us also grew up in families where you saw something about marriages and you're like, that's not what I want to see for my life. But also with this generation, there's also a lot of awareness, there's a lot of consciousness, and there's agency. That is something that was previously lacking in a lot of generations. I think millennials got the first of the full agency to be, as much as you were beaten down in terms of like, why are you not doing this? Why are you not doing this? Now this generation has a lot more agency to decide what they want to do.
That is true.
And when you decide between agency and like a timeline that somebody's out there has set a clock on me, I'm not going to bow down to like some sort of pressure that does not work for me. So yeah, I think that's the mentality a lot of young people approach it.
I love that. And I was having a conversation, strangely enough. I traveled to the village for a burial last week, Thursday. And I was just talking to my older girlfriends. I always believe in having friends who are younger than me and friends who are older than me. So most of my girlfriends are 50 plus and or late 40s and above. And they're just talking about, Yolanda, you're closer to millennial. You're closer to the Gen Zs. Why do you think? I'm like, they didn't have great examples of marriage to look for. People imagine that our children don't pick up on subliminal messages. When you wake up in the morning, you're calling each other, Baba Jahawi unaendelea. Your children pick up on the subliminals. Even the
way affection is handled in our
You can just tell these guys are not talking. These guys are here for the... So I keep telling people, you don't owe your children a marriage because you are the first example they'll ever see. This is the practical class that they're watching of this marriage. So I'm really glad that you're saying that you and your peers there's no urgency. It is not marry now or explode, because us guys were meant to believe that a woman's worth boiled down to somebody picked you. And that's why you're a pick me from such an early age.
And pick me, things you're trying to change as well. It's also what's helping the young generation, as much as also experiencing other few rises and things that affect us as women, like femicide, all those things. At the same time, also having that pick me mentality removed, like wanting to be chosen. It does a lot in that marriage discussion, because I'm not saying anyone who wants to get married wants to be chosen, but as human beings we do want to be chosen at the end of the day. But like,
true validation.
Me not being chosen does not mean that my life has ended, or me not choosing someone does not mean that my life
I like Gen Zs, they choose themselves. Agnes picks herself every day.
Pick me, choose me. In regards to me.
Munaji choose. But I love it. Yesterday I was having a conversation, or was it the day before? Agnes is the producer of this show, and I was saying on air that a girl is picked from such a you're trained from such a young age. You're raised to be someone's,
for the male's gaze. You're raised to like
for the male gaze, and I love that.
Gaze, male everything.
It's so bad. Oh, Yolanda, look at your chapati. Sit down properly. Who will marry someone who sits like you? And I'm like, that's really wrong, because your life can't amount to just one destination, because the destination is happiness, not marriage.
Yes. If
whatever version of happiness,
that's perfect. Yes.
And please note, I love love. Sometimes people are like, she's old and angry. I love love.
Me too.
I do have a man in my life. I am fine. I am happy. But I'm just saying that it's not all I am. You cannot reduce someone to just that one thing. I'm not worried about y'all anymore. I was worried about you, tear gas eaters, but I'm fine with you now.
It's good.
Sorry, you're like my shisha buddies, but it's so good.
Well, we did trend for that. Oh my goodness.
I stand a Gen Z. I stand a Gen Z. The conversation continues on the socials. You can call us up live in the studio 0719012600 or at Spice FM KE on all the social platforms, and we'll get to your comment. Your 2 cents is very much needed. Who you marry more important than when you marry, and why? Do tell us at DJ Tali Keira, at Yolanda Mulwa, and at Spice FM KE. And I'm loving the love that's coming on the socials. Hi, y'all. Loving the discussion today, and your words touched a place in my heart. For that, you get a hallelujah. DJ Talia has officially become my favorite DJ, a Gen Z who jams to old school this well. Flowers to her from me, loving the mix. Have a good day, y'all. Oh. Oh, Tracy Stings is enjoying. And we have some comments too. I don't know if you can see the monitor. Yes. And you can read a comment or two or several.
Okay.
Kuna watu wa following, but wajusisi lazima usome hizo. You can read those.
Okay. Okay, Steven says, DJ Tali, that tempo is just thumbs up, right? So Guru, the Sugar and Spice family, welcome DJ Tali every day to the family. Thank you so much, Steven. We also have feedback from Linda about the conversation we've had. Who is crucial when you marry someone, you're joined at the who is crucial when you marry someone you're joined at the hip. They're gonna affect your life physically, socially, emotionally, and psychologically. Some decisions, e.g. having children, are irreversible. It's better late, but marry right. I totally agree.
Absolutely. There's another one. Steven says something else there.
Steven says, yes, who you will marry will either build you up or destroy you. Same with why you're marrying.
That is true.
That is very true.
Very true. Let me read on Facebook. Baba Wanda says, who you marry, not when, because you get to know the reality behind marriage. Brian Adelbert says, who, because you will get to be with them for a while. A little while, only, a beg, not forever. Beth Brigi says both, but bigger weight on who. Sometimes the time isn't just right, even if the who is. Okay, valid. Wangari Karaoke says, who you marry is the most important. Many live to regret many years after. And I'm like, absolutely. Let me tell you something. We need to stop having this imaginary clock. Imagine no one cares. Us guys are going to come and talk about your bad rice that's like ugali and how your dress looks so cheap. That's all we care about. We care about that and period. The rest of it is you. Who do you come home to every single day, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes you come to yourself. You come to yourself, you come to this other person. Don't even fool us. You cannot get married to make your parents happy, or you cannot get married, and I keep telling people, because you're pregnant, it's not 1937. You cannot marry for any other reason. Except you are ready to get married, like you said from the jump.
Yes.
You only get married when, because me, I know so many people who are married and I'm like, so what? You're not married. You just have a piece of paper that says you're in a union, but you don't act like it. You don't. Many people don't act like it, and it's no wonder these marriages are not lasting that long. Maybe I read one last comment and then you can give us your last comment, DJ Keira. Who is critical? I think you read that one from Linda Luisa, right?
Yes.
Okay, so just your parting shot on the conversation. I'm not asking you to go home. We're enjoying the jams.
Yeah, my parting shot is, guys, the only clock that you have is your own clock. You only have yourself to think about when you want to make any major life decision. It should not be a societal pressure. If it's something you truly, genuinely desire, then definitely that's something you should be working towards. If marriage is something you desire, that's something you should be working towards. But also, if marriage is not something you desire, kids is not something you desire, that's completely fine. Don't feel like you're villainized by society, because those are not the kind of goals that you also are looking towards. And for my young people, marriage, I think, gets better. I don't know. I'm speaking like a marriage counselor. I have no idea. Hopefully marriage gets better for us, and a little bit rise in like a lot of young people also getting into like unions that serve them.
Yeah, and then because today you're here representing the young folk, and okay, let me read first a comment. Brian Al says, a farmer who waits for perfect weather never plants.
But you can till the land, you can
be ready.
You can have fertilizer, you can have everything else.
Yes. So me, I'm team, work on yourself.
Yes.
Make sure you're an ideal wife within yourself. You as a human being,
human being.
Yes. Work on yourself. Those issues, the traumas that you come with from your family, from your previous relationships. Please take your time. Take your time. To any young lady who's listening today or who's going to watch this clip on social media, take your time. Take your sweetest time. Like, imagine we're in no rush. We will eat your horrible rice when you're ready. Take your time. There's no pressure. And as you said, if marriage is not your goal, don't get married for us. At the end of the day, you're the one who's going to have to live with that person all your life. But I would say take your time. But in the same breath, I will tell you, I know what you saw in your parents might have traumatized you, marriage is not doom and gloom. Marriage is very beautiful as well. There are marriages that are that have lasted. It depends on what you'll anchor your marriage in and the firm foundation that you'll build that marriage on. So I know it's woke lately to be like, oh my goodness, marriage is awful. All men are trash. Your man is trash. Yours is the chokora. All men are not trash. Your father, the man who sired you, could have been one thing, but the man you marry is different. I know we say men marry their mothers, women marry their fathers, and that is their tragedy. But that's not always the case.
Don't even claim it.
Take your time. Interview them like you're interviewing someone who is coming for a job. If it's not right, if something doesn't sit right with you, next, on to the next one. And the layer two until you find, but just make sure that what this person stands for more than what they're bringing, maybe a fat check, maybe their looks. I know lately you're like, but nim supo. No. Just look at what this man is made of. What metal is this man made of? Yeah. And marriage is very, very beautiful. It's very, very, very beautiful. Ni mamako na babako tu. It's only your mother and your father who are horrible at it. But marriage is a beautiful thing. No, it's good. It's good to start telling people because we all, many people are traumatized. See, many people are very, very traumatized. And it's bad that we did that to an entire generation. And by saying we, I'm just being very a good human being because I didn't do jack. But I'm just saying that mamako alikuwa anafanya kickboxing usiku anachapwa, but utachapwa mali unaenda. Just be open-minded. Don't be so scared as a generation. See your Gen Zs?
Yeah.
Na naona Gen Alpha wako huku pia. Beautiful girls. All men are not the same. And marriage is beautiful. Sindio? So let's listen to some audio. Agnes, the producer, took the liberty of speaking to people, our Kenyans out there, and this is what you had to say. And then in 11 minutes, the top of the hour, we have the news and more jams in between. Yeah, the music never stops. 94.4 Spice FM, tell a friend to tell a friend.
Is who you marry more important than when you marry, and why? Of course, yes. Who you marry is more important than when you marry, but because remember, you're getting into marriage, you're not dating. So this person is the person that you're going to spend the rest of your life with. And if you just rush for marriage and after 2 years you feel like, their snore is irritating, why does this guy take 15 minutes in the shower, you just want to leave him. But if you take your time, spend a lot of time during the dating period and realize, this is the guy, this is the lady that I want to spend the rest of my life with, even if they snore like a generator, you're still gonna love them and you're gonna tolerate them for the rest of your life.
My name is Steve, and I believe who you marry is much more important than when you get married, because the person you choose as a life partner significantly impacts your happiness, fulfillment, and also emotional well-being, as well as personal growth.
Hi, my name is Sheila, and I think who you marry is important than when you marry. It's not about the timing, it's about the person. Because you can marry early and it's a wrong person, and you can marry early and it's the right person. It's about the person. Are you compatible with the person? So you can be compatible with a person and marry after 10 years. That's okay. It's not about when, it's who.
Hi, my name is Mike. I think who you marry is more important because you can marry, but the person you're marrying is not that interesting. You end up fighting in the marriage. So I think marrying the person who you want or you like is a really good idea. Yeah.
Who you marry is generally considered to be more important than when you marry, because of the quality of the relationship really matters, and the shared values are crucial for a successful marriage. Yeah, so who you marry is the number one thing, and the timing matters. But for me, a strong partnership is the key.